Okay. It's good to be back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports and Gaming. If you haven't hit the subscribe button already, please do hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button. And of course, if you want to become a member and join in with our live chats, then please smash the join button as well. And we'll definitely welcome you on board our family. Okay, so let's get into things. Quick side note. So the first side note is going to be, I would have done this video earlier, but I wasn't expected to. I didn't expect to be away for as long as I was, but I am back. Want to give a massive shout out to my friends in America, i.e. Pastor Jefferson. Gotta give him a shout out because if it wasn't for him, I would have got the hookup. So he hooked me up with a young man by the name of Brother Bass, and another young brother as well. And I had the honor, and I say the honor, of getting a VIP seat earlier today at the London Excel Arena to meet the real Bob Father, Bob Proctor, the founder of The Secret and the Law of Attraction. So if anybody knows who the Bob Proctor is, that was an amazing moment to be sitting in a VIP seat looking at Bob Proctor and learning from Bob Proctor. Absolutely amazing, incredible stuff. And all of that I have be putting over on BWTM online, so you can listen to that. Okay, just a side note. So there is life outside of BWTM Sports and Gaming. And yeah, so here we go. Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder. This picture here, you'll see he's just on the verge of being stopped by Kenny Bayless. And to Deontay Wilder's disgust, he's been stopped. His trainer, Mark Breland, at the time, people are saying he's done the right thing. On first observation of it, he did the right thing, but he isn't head trainer. Jay Diaz is the head trainer. And if anyone was going to make that call, it should have been Jay Diaz. Now, I'm not... I still think that if my fight was getting pummeled the way Wilder was getting pummeled, I don't know if I would have stopped the fight just then. Because with a guy like him who's got tremendous punching power, there's always that possibility that as Fury's trying to fish him off, he could have landed one of those big right hands. That being said, from round one, I said in commentary there was something wrong with Wilder's back leg. There was no stability in it. And from the minute he came out from the first round, he didn't look right. I said this, so I'm not being a jolly come lately. That's what I said in commentary. You can go back and check it. I said Wilder's balance isn't right. So he wouldn't have been able to generate any power anyway with the right hand. And even when he was throwing the right hand, you A, off balance, and B, you can't generate power unless you've boxed before. You probably won't understand what it's like, the biomechanics. You need your back foot to push off to really launch and land that right hand. And if that back leg is not stable, and I said it was just the back leg, if that back leg is not stable, then there's a problem. So there's that. The costume, it weighed 45 pounds, and people say in the Joe Rogan show that Wilder is exposed. Look, we're in a society today, believe it or not, we're in a society today that, very sad society, we're in a society that talks about mental health and all the problems with mental health, but yet we've got people out there that cause are some of the problems because of mental health, i.e. the bullying, the laugh at somebody when they're down, kick somebody when they're down, a mocking society we're in now. Anytime a person falls or a person loses or person's unfortunate, there's always a meme, there's somebody out there to make mockery of that person. And, you know, there are some funny memes out there, but in all honesty, as much as it's funny, there is a serious side to it all, which I think a lot of people tend to ignore. And that being said, I can't see that there are memes I haven't laughed at. I can't tell you there are memes out there that haven't brought tears to my eye, but I also understand the dark side of it all. For those people who are not in tune with heavyweight boxing, one of the things that make heavyweight boxing so great is how a fighter is able to get knocked out, brutally knocked out, and then come back and become a champion again. Lennox Lewis got knocked out brutally twice, badly knocked out by guys who are, they won't be Hall of Famers. Hasim Rahman and Oliver McCall were two guys that knocked Lennox Lewis out. They won't be Hall of Fame greats. None of them will be Hall of Fame greats, right? There might be local Hall of Famers in their area, but they're not all Hall of Fame greats, right? Lennox Lewis is considered an Hall of Fame great. And anytime Lennox Lewis's name is mentioned now, people are jumping up and down. Lennox Lewis would have done this. Lennox would have done that. Lennox would have destroyed this man. Lennox would have punched up that man. Yeah, all right. Lennox got knocked out by Oliver McCall and got knocked out by Hasim Rahman. Right? Deontay Wilder just lost to Tyson Fury, who people arguably say is the best heavyweight in the world. There is no real argument now because he already beat Vladimir Klitschko and now he's beat Deontay Wilder, who at the time going into the fight, let's remember, Deontay Wilder, I still consider him the biggest puncher in world boxing, period. There ain't no one in world boxing, even after this defeat, there ain't no one in world boxing who hits with the dynamite that Deontay Wilder does, always as electric as Deontay Wilder is when it comes to knocking people out. That's his speciality. He is the KO king. That doesn't change because he got beat by Tyson Fury. He still has that knockout power, and he still will knock out probably everyone else under Tyson Fury. People when Joshua got beat by Andrew Reese, they said no, there's no chance. They want Deontay Wilder nowhere near Joshua. All right. And the whole Joshua Wilder thing went very quiet. Okay, so one defeat doesn't end a person's career. Leon Spinks, 8-fight novice, beats Muhammad Ali. Ali comes back and beats him. Right? So there have been fights in boxing where guys have been knocked out and have come back and become champion again. Deontay Wilder didn't get knocked out, he got stopped on his feet, okay? And he got stopped on his feet by one of the best fighters, if not the best fighter in the heavyweight era at the moment, all right? Like I said before. So there's no disgrace in losing to Tyson Fury. None whatsoever. Now, going back to that stoppage, that point there, and Mark Breland. Now, according to Spencer Ferron, he says that Mark Breland was left outside the dressing room crying while Deontay Wilder and his head coach closed the door behind him. I don't know how true that is. I wasn't there. But if that's the case, then to me, it's just my opinion here, it seemed to me there was a problem in that camp before, and this was just the icing on the cake. There were problems in the camp beforehand. There may have been major problems in the camp beforehand, but this just brought it all to a head. So now, if we take it from the perspective of what Deontay Wilder is saying in his interview, he said from day dot, he said, if I'm going to get beat, if I'm going to get beat, at least allow me to go out on my shield. If that was what he said from day one till this day, right? If that is what he said, if that's what Deontay Wilder truly said from day one, that if he get beat, he wants to get stopped. He wants to be knocked out for it to happen. If that's the case, then I have no sympathy for Mark Breland. None. Because if a fighter said that, right? If a fighter has said that, then particularly someone like Deontay Wilder, and they said it, then you do run the risk of going to get you. The fighter's employing you. You understand? If the fighter employs you, you don't employ the fighter. And this may sound bad and it may sound controversial, but if that's the case, if that's what Wilder really said, then I guess you side with him on that. Even though he's getting pummeled, even though he's getting pummeled. I mean, I understand the compassionate trying to stop the fight. I get that. I hear that. And I see that, in my opinion, looking at that, from what I saw, then, Deontay Wilder didn't look like he had much left in him. But we've seen fights in the past where guys have been way behind the points of getting pummeled. For example, let's be honest, Tony Morrison was beating the crap out of Ray Mercer, and Ray Mercer just turned around and turned it on his head. But Ray Mercer's legs didn't look like Deontay Wilder's from first round. So whether the costume was £45 or not, he obviously had something wrong with his leg from round one. What that may be, I don't know. Now, Deontay now saying that Tyson Fury didn't hurt him. Well, I'm afraid to say, Deontay, that what it seemed to me is that he was hurting you every time. From the first round, if you go back and look at the first round, where Tyson hits him with a stiff jab, that stiff jab in itself seemed to hurt Deontay. And I've always said, I'm not trying to be, again, a jolly come lately. When I was breaking down Deontay Wilder's style, and I told you about some of the things Wilder does, where he pulls straight back from punches, and he doesn't block punches, he blocks them with his face and his reflexes. Once those reflexes start to go, your boy's in trouble. Wilder's in trouble. Very much like Roy Jones Jr. Once these guys' reflexes go, once that speed loses, once they lose that speed, and they've been all them bad habits, they start to catch up. So I don't write Deontay Wilder off. If there's one thing I've learned in the last two big fights of guys going into rematches, is that anything's possible. The rematch Joshua had with Ruiz, I didn't believe Joshua could change his style significantly to beat Ruiz. He did change his style significantly. And it didn't help with Andy Ruiz's temperament and him deciding to not train for the fight. That being said, looking at the Fury fight with Wilder, I didn't think Fury could change his style. I thought he'd come out again, and mainly because of Fury in the past being one that says one thing and does something completely different. Fury, being inconsistent, actually coming out and actually doing exactly what he said he would do was a shock. An absolute shock. And he did change his style up. And I said, he looked more polished in that fight than I've ever seen him fight in all of his career. It was the most entertaining, most exciting fight that Tyson Fury was in control of. This wasn't a fight where Fury was getting wobbled or dropped or in a punch out. Good boxing performance from Fury. Very good boxing performance from Fury. So, and that's the best I've ever seen Tyson Fury box. Period. So, I think to myself, okay, so what happens with Wilder now? He keeps JD on as his head coach. Now, they're definitely going for this rematch. Is Wilder going to take a leaf out of Joshua's book and add people to his team? Is he going to go the Tyson Fury route? Is he going to scrap his current head trainer and go with somebody else? What is Wilder going to do? Can Wilder make the adjustments? I don't believe Wilder's just a guy who's got a big right hand. Don't believe that for 1 second. He has a decent jab. He's got a big right hand. He's got good attributes. Now, when speed leaves a fighter, if speed starts to leave a fighter like Wilder, who does do gets away with a lot of things, chin in the air, backing up from straight punches, those things, you're off balance, all those things he could get away with around that right hand. I just think to myself, where's Wilder in his career now? Has he already hit his peak? Oh, you'd think he has. So is he in decline, or is he stagnating? Is he in decline? Is he stagnating, or is he just steady? Where is Wilder in his career? And you have to ask yourself the question now. Can he come back? Yeah, he can come back. Can he come back and beat Fury? The two fights he's had now, you would have your doubts and think, well, the first fight, yeah, you dropped Fury twice. You look worse in the second fight than you did the first fight. And I thought the first fight, you looked bad because you were just trying to knock Fury out. I thought this time you'd be more patient. But in the second time, you look worse than you did the first fight. Well, the first fight, you didn't get dropped. This time, you got, what, dropped 2-3 times? And you seem to get hurt with every punch through. So, it looked to me like you didn't make the adjustments. You didn't make the adjustments. All the adjustments you made weren't good enough. So, at what point in time are you going to look to your trainers and say they're not good enough? Or you're going to look to your team and say, tactically, this wasn't great? You know? So, there are questions to be asked. Leof, can I just stop a second and congratulate this man, Leof, and say you're doing a tremendous job for BWTM Sports Gaming. You're doing a tremendous job doing timelines for our interviews so that viewers from around the world are able to get to the specific points within an interview. So they don't have to listen to the whole interview, so they can listen to specific parts of the interview, all the interviews we do. So Leif, Gramerson, I'd like to say thank you so much for your support. Really, really appreciate what you're doing for the channel. Great guns on you. He asked the question, Ingram, is it the champion mindset that got Wilder here now hurting Wilder, i.e. making choices that are not going to be in his best interest? Well, we don't know what's in his best interest, to be honest. I mean, I thought that Ben Davison, leaving Ben Davison going to Sugar Hill was not in Tyson's best interest. But after looking at how Tyson looked against Deontay in his rematch, you know, who am I to say what's in his best interest now? I don't know. Maybe Mark Breland isn't in Wilder's best interest. I don't know. I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to say. So I can't honestly tell you, I know the full dynamics of Wilder's team. I don't, you know. But there needs to be some drastic change for this rematch. I don't believe he can go in like he has done the first two fights and go in again and do the same stuff again. I believe if he does that again, he'll get starched. He's got to do something differently. You know? He's got to come up with some different type of game plan. He's got to show that he can be more versatile. You know? He showed versatility a bit when he fought Stavern. He's got to show some sort of stability, some sort of versatility again. For me, he's got to show versatility in this rematch against Fury if he's going to go for the third fight. He's got to show versatility. His teams, whoever Wilder's team are, they've got to show a different game plan. Is 16? We thought that him putting on the weight was going to be helpful. Maybe he isn't. I don't know. What I do know is that performance there, you can't turn up to fight Fury like that again. I really expected. Yes, Cameron. I really expected to see Wilder put on do something different. But like I said, he looked worse. I hope what Liv says, I hope Wilder gets the respect for what he has achieved, even if he loses the third fight. Evander Holyfield said, everybody says he's no good, but anyone fight him before the first Lewis bout. No, he says everybody says he's no good, but won't anyone fight him before the first Lewis bout? Yeah, I guess so. I guess I am not. See, if you listen to some people, legends wouldn't exist. Legends wouldn't exist if you listen to some people. Because when a fighter loses a fight, that's it. The career's done. They're done. They're finished. Okay? If that was the case, then Lennox Lewis, Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, Joe Frazier, Bernard Hopkins, Can we keep going? Guys, you lose one fight. Frank Bruno. How many guys can we talk about? Guys who've lost fights and have come back to be champions. How many times did Arturo Gatti lose fights? Huh? The great Arturo Gatti you all like to watch. Huh? So, I don't know. Lomachenko. Let's bring Lomachenko's name into this. Lomachenko's lost the fight, innit? Against Salido. Some of you guys now saying, oh, once a guy loses the fight, it's over. There's Lomachenko there. He still came back to go and win titles. So my point is this. You seem very busy again this week. Yeah, it's getting busier. It's getting busier. I need to start advertising to try and get people to work for BWTM soon. Gonna need some workers at some point. Yes, Danny. So I don't know. This thing about legends. These guys who've been knocked out cold and have come back and become champions. Some of the greatest fighters I've known in this era and previous eras who have been beaten and knocked out, brutally knocked out, and have come back and become champions. Lennox is what, 3-time heavyweight champion of the world? Oh yeah, he's a 3-time heavyweight champion of the world. How many times did he get his ass get beat? Right? Evander Holyfield. Mike Tyson. The way Tyson got knocked up by Buster Douglas, if Mike Tyson got knocked up by Buster Douglas in this era like that, you're going to tell me I said Mike Tyson was finished. You'd have thought Mike Tyson was ridiculous. So, there's a lot of things we need to be aware of. We need to celebrate our champions in their wins and their losses. So, Joshua came back. Joshua showed us his bounce back ability. He showed that he can lose a fight, get knocked down 4 times, come back and be a champion again. Lennox wasn't embarrassed. Oh yeah, Lennox was embarrassed. I mean, Lennox wasn't embarrassed. You get knocked out by Hasim Rahman. Get knocked out, smiling before you get knocked out in South Africa, and the next, and you were meant to go and meet, man, you went to South Africa to go and lay on a canvas. You think Lennox wasn't embarrassed? Hell yeah, he was embarrassed. He was embarrassed. He was embarrassed, Lennox. When he was meant to go and meet Madiba the next day, he went all the way to South Africa. And what made it worse than when he got knocked out by Hasim Rahman, he defied the doctors. The doctor said he needs to go to South Africa and acclimatise because I think they were below sea level or above sea level something. But they had to acclimatise. He needed at least a month to acclimatise. Lennox thought he could come off Ocean's 11 and just fly into South Africa and fight. Even the way he got knocked out was funny. He was smiling at Hasim Rahman before he got knocked out. So yeah, Lennox got embarrassed. And then the photograph of him when he got knocked out by Oliver McCall and lost his title, yeah? The next day he was outside the fire station with some firemen and wearing dark glasses and his lip was bust. Wilder was at class. Yeah, but Wilder was beat by Tyson Fury, who's beaten Vladimir Klitschko and he's going to go down as an all-time great. So I had this discussion early on. Don't compare the two. Lennox got knocked up by 2 guys who will never be Hall of Fame greats. Tyson Fury, based on his achievements and what he's done, is going to go down as a great fight. He's going to go down as one of the greatest heavyweight of this era. He's beaten Wilder, a guy who had 10 defenses of the title and knocking everybody out. And then he had Vladimir Klitschko, who had 10 plus. I mean, how many defenses did Vladimir Klitschko had of the unified belts? So, all being said and done, Tyson Fury is the undefeated, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. So, to get outclassed by that guy That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. Right? So Fury did put on a tremendous performance. You have to say that. And Wilder turned up with the same game plan. He put a little bit more weight on, but he seemed to turn up with the same game plan. And it wasn't good enough. They went and did their research and did their research. Fury and his team, they did their research and they came back bigger and stronger and better. Wilder came back exactly the same. And that's probably why we've got what we've got now. Fury beat two guys who were knocking over contenders and did it easy. That's it. Fury did well. Understand? So I don't want to hear anything about, oh, Wilder was embarrassed by Fury. Fury. If you knock Fury now, if you knock Fury now, then you're knocking basically the whole heavyweight division. You're knocking the whole and the lineage of the heavyweight division from the WBC side of things and the unified side of things. Historically, you're messing things up. So you can't say that. It's a pretty ignorant statement. Wilder's team had more than a year and made no adjustments. No, they didn't make the adjustments. Clearly, they didn't make the adjustments. I'd like to know what the game plan was from Wilder's team. I would like to know what the game plan is. I would like to know if the game plan, if Jay Diaz as head coach had different ideas to Mark Breland. And this situation that's happened here with Breland jumping in to save Wilder, whether that was just the icing on the cake, whether that was just, because I don't know. If he's the head coach, Diaz, isn't it Diaz's call at the end of the day to make that final call and not the assistant coach to do that? I could be wrong there. Their plan was to land the right hand. They landed in 12th round, first fight earlier. Possibly. They probably figured Fury would be slower putting all that weight on. And I figured Fury would be slower. He wasn't. I do want to make a little point there. There's more investigation into the gloves of Tyson Fury that's been discussed at the moment. The only thing that makes me look again at that situation with closer inspection is that Fury was accused of, in the sparring, one of the sparring partners revealed about Fury's gloves and the padding. Now, surely somebody from Wilder's team would have seen Fury with the padding on and the gloves. They would have checked the gloves. So they would have done. I've seen video footage of how it looks a bit odd and all the rest of it. That could just all be conspiracy stuff. But I do know that there was a problem with Fury before, with sparring gloves before in camp. That's what I heard. And it's interesting how Fury now was punching so much harder. He couldn't put a dent in Tom Schwartz. And he couldn't put a dent in Safa Safiri, and he couldn't put a dent in Pianetta, but he can put dents in Wilder second time round. So, England, what fight do you want for Fury that excites you? Jarrell Miller? I want Fury to fight Jarrell Miller. I want Fury to fight Jarrell Miller. I really do. I want to see that fight. You said, Ingram, that the situation with Ruiz Joshua 2 and then Wilder Fury 2 have changed your mindset to accept the fight. It could change in one bout. Will that learning ever stop for you? Listen, I didn't think a fighter could make such adjustments in it for a rematch. That being said, with Joshua, the rematch was always set up for Joshua to win. The ring was set up for Joshua to win. And I don't know what was said to Ruiz to make him just not bother training for the rematch. I don't know if it was a conspiracy thing or it was just he just couldn't be bothered to train. He ate out, and the fame got to his head, or he was just told, look, this rematch, you can't win this rematch. Business is business. It's a business deal. You're not meant to win this rematch. So just get in there, go 12 rounds, and let Joshua get his belt back, because we've invested all this money in Big Josh, and you weren't meant to do what you did. I don't know. No, I don't want to see Herc. Big stiff idiot. I don't want to watch Herkovic. Forget Herkovic, man. No one did. Wilder is keeping Mark Breland now in his team, is he? I hope so. Well, I don't know. If he's keeping him, I don't know. I don't know. The question I've got to ask is the team even good enough? Is it even good enough? Yeah, I don't rate Herkovic. I'm sorry. I don't. You love your Eastern European fighters just because they've got an itch at the name of their name, at the end of their name. You've got to show me something, man. You have to show me something. Didn't you have to an Eastern European guy the other day that Hunter took apart? Kuzman. You were rating Kuzman up the other day. Didn't Kuzman just get his ass beat? You were saying, oh, Kuzman, future of the heavyweight division. Didn't he just get his ass whooped? I want to see, because I want to see some of these guys, these big stiff guys, I want to see them fight somebody decent. Because historically, we've seen these guys, they look great until they get hit in the mouth, and then they all fall apart. So, we'll see. Because if that was the case, then Usmanov should have been a big heavyweight champion. Wack should have been a heavyweight champion of the world. Yeah, Herkovic is hyped. Herkovic needs to fight somebody who can punch him in the mouth. That's what I want to see. Herkovic fight somebody who will punch him back in his mouth. That's what I want to see. When somebody punches Herkovic hard back in his mouth, then we'll have the conversation. Until that time, I don't hear nothing about Herkovic. That's why you don't hear me talk about Herkovic. Until these guys get whacked square in the jaw, hold that punch, right? Until that happens, and it tells you something. Herkovic's last fight, or the fight before, was Samuel Peter. Come on, man. Is that what Herkovic is for? Whack. You laugh. You'd think Whack, with all that size, he'd have been heavyweight champion of the world. What happened to him? Man. You forget about Glasgow as well, right? Wasn't he going to be the next heavyweight champion of the world? He was, wasn't he? For a couple of seconds. Was he heavyweight champion of the world? Glasgow? Or did he fight for the vacant title? I mean, they fought for a vacant title. Yeah, they were trying to build Glasgow off, if you remember. Because Glasgow, he didn't beat Steve Cunningham, and he definitely didn't beat Malik Scott. Jeez. If a guy can fight, that's different. But I don't... These guys who just go around... Yeah, I want to see them fight somebody, get hit in the chin, and say, all right, fight, you can fight. Fair enough. Until when someone passes the chin test, they are suspects. I agree. But I said the same thing about Luis Ortiz. And when people talk about Luis Ortiz, I said, listen, Luis Ortiz ain't fought no puncher yet. Why is it in his record he's fought no puncher? I said, anytime you see a fighter that is kept away from punches, know that it's something around the chin area is an issue. Yeah, there you go. Herkovic, Glasgow lost. Yeah, the vacant IBF belt. That's my point. And they're trying to build Glasgow up because he didn't beat Cunningham. He didn't beat Cunningham, and he certainly didn't beat Malik Scott. Did he? Yeah, he blew his knee out in that fight. Yeah. Well, I don't know how you blow. I don't know how you blow your knee out and still walk yourself out the arena. He never fought again. Man, like, yeah, I walk this earth like a gold, and I'm gonna walk right through you. Lennox, we've got Lennox Lewis in the studio. Lennox, give us your opinion on what you think Deontay Wilder's got to do. Man, I was watching that fight with Deontay. You got to get the Deontay right. Deontay. And Tyson Fury, he put on a great performance, and Wilder can come again. He's gonna work in a few things, but he can come back again. I'll work with Wilder. I work with Deontay, and I said to Deontay, you got to stick behind the jab. You've got to use, you got to use a good double jab. Against Fury, because Fury's an awkward type of guy. Thanks, Lennox. The thing I admire about Ingram is that he will tell the truth despite the repercussions to anyone. That is integrity. You got to speak the truth, my friend. You have to speak the truth. Listen. If Wilder had beat Fury in this rematch and he'd smashed Fury to bits, he could have been the greatest fighter of this era, without a shadow of doubt. Smashing Fury to bits, which I thought he was going to do, and he didn't. So, you know what? You got beat by the better guy on the night, and the better guy is quite tasty. So, unlike Lennox Lewis's era, at least Deontay got beat by a guy who's going to go down to be a Hall of Fame great now. Just look at the state of his face. I was winning that fight. I don't know what you're talking about. I was winning that fight against Klitschko. Just look at the state of his face. I hit him with the uppercut. And it almost took his head off from his shoulders. Oh, I love a bit of Lennox. He's probably one of the worst commentators on boxing today. One of the worst commentators. Lennox, tell us what you think of the fight tonight. There's two guys in the ring, and two guys are gonna rumble, and it's a great fight, isn't it? It's a great fight. Both guys can punch. Both guys can walk forward. Both guys can walk backwards, and they're great. I'm excited to be here. Because I don't do a lot more, but I'm excited to be here. And whatever. Yeah, Lennox, cool, great. He does. Will you tell me if I'm wrong? You tell me if I'm wrong. What stuff does Lennox Lewis read? When you listen to Lennox Lewis, do you walk away from a Lennox Lewis interview or walk away from, not about his career, when you walk away from Lennox Lewis commentating, do you learn anything from Lennox Lewis when he's talking? Like when he's commentating? These two guys, he's getting behind the jab, and threw a great shot there. What do you learn? What do you learn? What do you learn? I love Lennox as a fighter, right? But I don't learn Jack Diddy's squat when he's commentating. I'm sorry. When you listen to Andre Ward will break a fight down. He will break a fight down, and he'll give you a story behind each fighter, and then he'll come and he'll commentate, and he'll ask questions in the commentary, and he'll ask questions, and he'll put things together for you. I wake up happy I listen to Lewis, and the Samaritan's on speed dial. Hi. I'm Lennox Lewis, former undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, And, if you got a problem, you know where to find me. They almost have to wake up Lewis. Oh my God, 3 times. No, all right. I like Lennox, man. I like Lennox. Back in the 90s, listen, Lennox embarrassed me twice. Back in the 90s, yeah, this is a true story, no word of a lie. I used to wear the Lennox Lewis SPX hat. I had the SPX hat, and I had the shades, the exact same shades Lennox had, right? And I had the haircut, and I had the shades, right? The gold shades after he beat Bruno, level vibes. I had the shades, SPX hat, and the shades. Trust me, I was a Lennox Lewis fan. You know what I mean? And then when he got knocked out by McCall, man, I didn't know where to put my face. I did not know where to put my face. But when he got knocked out when he went to see Nelson Mandela and got knocked out by Rackman, that was even more embarrassing. So coming back to Deontay Wilder and his defeat, it ain't so bad. It ain't so bad. It's not like he was laid out flat on the canvas or his feet were through the ropes or, you know, you got saved from that embarrassment, right? Of getting laid out flat in America. You know, he didn't get knocked out flat like Hassim Rahman. Do you know what? And getting laid out flat. It didn't happen. Lewis. Some wise person came up with the idea that Lennox Lewis should train Deontay Wilder. No. If Deontay Wilder wants to win again, ever win a fight again, you don't go with Lennox Lewis. Why? Well, just look at Lennox's track record. He trained two guys. Yeah, he trained Manuel Shah, and he got flattened by Breedis, and he trained Dave Price. We knew how that ended up. So no, I don't want to see Lennox Lewis near any current fight. No, sorry, no, I don't want to see that. Trainer, I would actually like to see. I'd like to see Deontay work with free trainers. I'd like to see Deontay work with Derek James. I'd like to see him work with Derek James. Of course, I'd like to see him work with Bashir. I'd like to see Deontay work with Stacey McKinley. Three guys who are experienced. I tell you who else. I wouldn't mind seeing Deontay Wilder work with Sugar Hill as well. Sugar Hill, now I haven't thought about it. Deontay Wilder and Sugar Hill would be quite good. That combination, that might work out quite well. Good evening, Denise. Remember Price had Lewis in the Thompson rematch? Legend has it, Thompson punches didn't put Price to sleep. He was losing voice in the corner. Oh dear. Nassim Richardson. Nassim Richardson. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I can't speak enough about Nassim Richardson. I mean, he's an experienced trainer. I don't see how Deontay Wilder and Nassim Richardson work. I don't see that chemistry there. I could be wrong, but I could see, because the amount of champions that Stacey McKinley has worked with, even like people like Mayorga and stuff. So I think McKinley would be good because he's worked with so many different types of fighters. He's worked with Mike Tyson, destructive one-punch knockout power. Stacey McKinley would be good, and he's got a good set of heavyweights in that heavyweight faction to work with. You've got Stacey McKinley. You've got Bashir, who knows how to work with big heavyweights. Of course, he's worked with Lennox Lewis, Vladimir Klitschko. So you've got that there with Bashir. And Derek James, he said he always wanted a crack at working with Deontay Wilder when Deontay Wilder was still winning. So that is Freddie Roach. Oh God. Eugene, my brother, how are you? Have you seen Mr. Bashir and Vlad at the gym with Vladimir Klitschko weekly? They're cooking something. Yeah, it makes me want to fly to Ukraine. I did for 1 second think about going out to Ukraine to meet Mr. Bashir, Uncle Bashir. I might still look at that. Thank you very much for Eugene. How you doing, my brother? I've missed you so much. Freddie Roach, please don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh. If you want to get knocked out, go to Freddie Roach. If you've never been knocked out in your career, and you want to get knocked out, go to Freddie Roach. Joe Gallagher. I heard a story that Callum Smith lowered his offer, and there's a possibility that Callum Smith could be in the Canelo sweepstakes. Okay, maybe because he got ribbed so much. So many people talking about Callum Smith and being a bit of a coward, but I don't know about all that. Adam Booth. No. Not Adam Booth. No chance. Never. What's Booth going to teach Wilder? No. I think Booth's got his hands full with Josh Kelly at the moment, so forget that. Scott Quigg, the man with no defence, went to Roach of all people. Yeah, like I said before, as soon as that was announced, I thought to myself, yeah, Scott Quigg, you want to get knocked out. Nobody even talks about Scott Quigg anymore, man. What? Nobody talks about Scott. Well, nobody talks about Scott Quigg anymore. Damn it. Oh, it's almost finalised, is it? Okay, fair enough. Whoever, it's Billy Joe Saunders or Callum Smith. The chief has been brought in to get slaughtered. That's it. If Saunders could turn it on, though, because Saunders could get the fight and he can beat him. If he could beat Canelo, wow. That deserves instant respect for Billy Joe Saunders. If he can beat Canelo, yeah. I mean, I don't see Billy Joe Saunders as a guy that can get paid off to take a dive. I don't see that. I don't see that in Billy Joe. Billy Joe has a lot of things, but I don't see that in him. We'll have to wait and see how that fight pans out, though. Same result either way. Yeah, I guess so. I would say that. I would say that. Is there anything else I need to talk about? Oh, the return of my boy Joseph Parker. The boy's got so much talent. Just a shame. Just a shame. Dillian White fighting Povetkin, as I said. Said it was going to happen. Yeah, I don't think there's anything much more to talk about, to be honest. I think I might put on an hour. Think you're eating Billy too highly? Who's rating Billy a bit too highly? I ain't rating Billy a lot too highly. Who's rating him highly? I don't know. Which one should it be? You think we should have UFC tonight? Or you think we should have some PSC tonight? I'm gonna put an hour. I'll put at least an hour gaming on tonight. Which one is it gonna be? Are we looking at PES or UFC? Which one? Josh Taylor, Ben Davidson. I don't think very much of it. Because Josh Taylor's already a good fighter. And he's already won those belts, so I don't know what could made of that. I don't know. I really don't know what to think of it, to be honest. PES? Okay, PES it is then. We'll go and play some PES tonight. We'll PES on. Right, let me get out of here. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, don't forget to rate, subscribe, leave your comments. As always, shit. Do me a favour. Don't just like the comments or like and leave comments. Please share the video. Start to share this video for me, yeah? Start sharing these videos, get them out there, yeah? And we'll see what we can do from there. Taylor gambling. Yeah, we might be, yeah. Let me get out of here. Let's get and do some PSC. Let's do some gaming tonight. I'm out of here. Thanks for watching BWTM Gaming and Sports. We're out. Don't forget, as always, please subscribe now.